Hello students, welcome to the another video lecture on RC Academy. Myself Sharayu Nagpure, the biology faculty of RC Academy Nashik. So in last lecture we have discussed the cell theory and exceptions to the cell theory and related topics. So today we have to start the characteristics of the cells, as we came to know that all kinds of living organisms on the earth are made up of cells. अभी ये हमको पता है कि living organism जो भी है, whatever it may be primitive or highly advanced, whatever, all organisms are made up of cells or having the cells. So we should know the basic characteristics of cell, that is cell is going to have. So first of all we have to discuss the characteristics of cell in detail. So let us see one by one. So first characteristic we have to see related with the cell. Cell is called as the structural and functional unit of life. Now why it is called as the structural and functional unit of life? Because we know that all organisms, irrespective of the primitive or highly advanced, all organisms are made up of cells. That's why it is called as the structural unit of life. And why it is functional so? Because whatever the functions that our body is going to perform, say कौन से फंक्शंस हमारी बॉडी परफॉर्म करती है, लेट्स से डाइजेशन, रेस्पिरेशन, फोटोसिंथेसिस, excretion and many more processes are there. These processes are taking place in the cell. That's why cell is called as the functional unit of life. So ये point समझ में आ गया बच्चों. Let's move to the second point. So cells, all kind of cells is going to have a kind of medium which is liquid in nature. So if we consider, यहाँ पे मैं let us say one example I have drawing over here. Suppose I am drawing the cell over here. Suppose this is the cell. So cell bears a liquid medium in which all the vital activities are going on. So this liquid medium is nothing but the protoplasm, or it is called as the cytoplasm or periplasm. So all cells must be having the protoplasm, that means the liquid medium in which all activities are going on. Third point, as it bears the protoplasm or say cytoplasm, primitive cell low or advanced cell, whatever the cell may be, this protoplasm is found to be the same chemical composition. Slight difference might be there, but most of the time this kind of protoplasm is having the same chemical composition. This is the next point regarding the characteristics of cell. Fourth property, this protoplasm or this liquid medium is limited by a membranous structure. This particular cell having the protoplasm is limited by the plasma membrane. So this outer boundary is called as the plasma membrane of the cell, which is protective in nature. It gives the proper shape to the cell or rigidity to the cell, or we can say it maintains the size as well as volume of that particular cell. So this is each and every cell is limited by the plasma membrane. Then in some cells, say bacterial cell or plant cell or fungal cell, in some kind of cells there may be the presence of cell wall as a outer membrane. इसके बाहर the outer boundary, in some cases or in some types there may be the presence of cell wall. So we can say that this cell wall is acting like a outer layer of this particular cell. This is called as the cell wall, which is made up of cellulose in case of plants, or it is made up of polysaccharide when we consider the bacterial cell. So this is the outer boundary of cell wall. That cell wall is not present in animal cell, but it is the characteristic feature of plant cell and bacteria. So this is about the cell wall. Then next characteristic of cell is every cell should have kind of regulation. It is able to regulate all kinds of vital process which are going out inside the cell. Regulation means in some cases a kind of chemical reactions are going on inside the cell. बहुत सारे chemical reactions यहाँ पे होती रहेंगी. So rate of that particular chemical reactions might be slow or fast depending upon the response to different kind of stimuli. Which kind of external stimuli are there? According to that stimuli, cell is capable of increasing the rate of reactions or decreasing the rate of reaction. That is called as the regulation. Or one point I have given over here, self-regulation. It is called as the regulation of vital processes. Next, all cells, whatever it may be prokaryotic or eukaryotic, primitive or advanced, all cells must have genetic material in it. All cells must have genetic material in it. So suppose this is the genetic material inside the cell. Genetic material कौन सा होता है बेटा? सब cells जो हम discuss करते हैं, which kind of chemical compound act as a genetic material inside the cell? So that is nothing but the DNA. In most of the organisms, deoxyribose nucleic acid act as a genetic material, and in some viruses there may be the RNA which act as a genetic material. So this is again the major characteristics of cell. All cells must have genetic material, either it may be DNA or RNA. Next property, next characteristic is the totipotency. Now what is meant by totipotency? Totipotency is the ability of cell to divide and redivide, then to differentiate and to form the complete organism. This is called as the totipotency. Now when we consider the plant cell, अगर हम plant cells की बात करें, plants की बात करें, plant के अंदर जो भी cells होंगे, that all cells are showing the totipotency, this property throughout their life. अगर हम एक प्लांट को कट करते हैं तो अगेन न्यू प्लांट जनरेट होता है, प्लांट रीजनरेट होता है. दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रॉपर्टी इज कॉल्ड एज द टोटिपोटेंसी, बट दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन इन केस ऑफ एनिमल्स. एनिमल्स हैव रेस्ट्रिक्शन इन केस ऑफ दिस टोटिपोटेंसी. जनरली टोटिपोटेंसी इज फाउंड ड्यूरिंग द एम्ब्रियोनिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द एनिमल. बेसिकली एनिमल के जो एम्ब्रियोनिक डेवलपमेंट के जो स्टेजेस रहेंगे, ड्यूरिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर period we can observe the totipotency in the cells, and if we consider the animals, stem cells, embryonic development में जो stem cells होते हैं animal के अंदर, that stem cells have that totipotency, but after development or through the development that totipotency is going to lost or going to minimize when we develop into the adult one. So this is about the totipotency. Next characteristic of cell is self regulation. अब भी हमने जो डिस्कस किया है कि cell have the self regulation property, means due to this particular property cell is becoming the successful life. And why cell is having the successful life? Due to the response to the different kind of stimuli. We know that cells respond, cells have ability to respond to different kinds of external as well as internal stimuli. Depending upon the stimuli, they can regulate themselves. They can increase the rate of metabolic rate or they can decrease the metabolic rate depending upon the which kind of stimuli that cell is going to face. So these are the different characteristics we have studied over here. After that, one point is there. And now, depending upon the number of cells which are present in a particular living organism, depending upon the number of cells present in a living organisms, cells are of और organisms are of two types. Organism दो type में divide होंगे, unicellular organisms and second one is multicellular organisms. As the name indicates, uni means single cell and multi means many cells. ये क्या शो कर रहे हैं बेटा कि how many cells that organism bear, वो organism कितने cells से बना हुआ है. Accordingly, organisms are classified into two types, unicellular organisms and multicellular organism. Let's take an example. What are the different unicellular organisms present on the planet? Say amoeba, Paramecium, Euglena, Chlamydomonas, So these are the certain examples of unicellular organisms. Next, multicellular organism, as the name indicates, these organisms are made up of more than 2 cells. So we can say different kinds of examples in this category: elephants, butterflies, plants, human beings, or different kinds of animals come in this particular category, multicellular organism. Got this two concepts regarding the living organism, unicellular and multicellular. Again, one more classification we have to study, that is the type of cellular organization. According to the cellular organization, how the cell is going to arrange, according to the cellular organization, organisms are divided into again 2 types: prokaryotic organism and second one is eukaryotic organisms, or we can say that prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So what does this name means? देखो सिंपल मीनिंग है बेटा इसका. प्रो मीन्स प्रिमिटिव, सबसे पहले ये ओरिजिनेट हुआ, एंड कैरियन मीन्स न्यूक्लियस. इफ यू कंसिडर द यूकैरियोटिक ऑर्गेनिज्म, यू मीन्स ट्रू and again carrion means nucleus. So in this way we can define these two terminologies again. Living organism according to the cellular organisms, whether it may be very simple or it may be very complex, according to that organisms are divided into 2 types: prokaryotic and eukaryotic organism. Now prokaryotic means कौन से organisms which are having the very primitive nucleus, means nucleus type of structure, nucleus like structure is going to absent in case of prokaryotic organism. Nucleus, ये जो structure हमें highly complicated organism में जो दिखता है, defined nucleus जो दिखता है, that is not going to present in case of prokaryotic organism. So we can draw a cell like this. The cell which is not having the nucleus, that particular organism is called as the prokaryotic, and the cell which is having the distinct nucleus in it, this kind of organisms are called as the eukaryotic organisms. So ये difference समझ में आया? So here that is all about the today's session. In next session we will see the exact difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic organisms in detail. So that is all about today's lecture, students. So ये अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगा है और इसके पहले के भी जो भी वीडियो हमने बनाए अभी तक वो अगर आपको अच्छे लग रहे हैं तो प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब आवर चैनल एंड हिट द बेल आइकॉन that is given on your screen. So that is all about the today's lecture. Thank you very much.